Hi, I'm Leanne Ely. I'm a nutritionist, a New York Times best-selling author, and some people even say I'm a life coach. I started the Daily Dish Show to share my story, my truth, and my journey to vibrancy, and to inspire others to do the same. Because it's all about grit, perseverance, and finding a way despite the odds. It's about embracing the whole woman, not just the parts that are easy to love, and feeding her heart, mind, body, and soul. But I found that this isn't just my story, it's your story too. It's go time. This is the Daily Dish. It is the Daily Dish, and you're here, and it's Thursday, and isn't that great? It's Thirsty Thursday, y'all, and we are getting ready to wind up our topic of the week, which this topic of the week this week has been all about goals. Goals. And oh my goodness, there's everybody. I was like, where is everybody? It was just completely blank. And then suddenly, there you all are. Hello there, Deborah, Catherine, Alice, Kathy, Jocelyn, Martha. Oh, look at y'all here. We're having a good time already, don't you think? When we get there, we'll be there. Exactly. Hello from the UK. Hello over there at the UK, land of lovely. Anne is here. Patsy's here. You know what it means when everybody shows up? It means we get to have a party. Yay. So welcome. Linda, you too, of course. I am kind of excited about this weekend. I have another tournament coming up. So this one's going to be a little rough. It's going to be super hot. We have 15 teams competing right now, so it's going to be interesting. And my partner is 62. I am 65, so I don't get to play in the 65 plus. I have to play down in the 60 plus. Play down. Isn't that so funny? Anyway, send all your good thoughts, prayers, good juju, whatever it is that you know, as you think about me this weekend. I have my match on Saturday. I have with my female partner, Michelle. And then I have a match on Sunday with my husband, Mark. And by the way, he dropped a big 4x4 on his toe. And he's just now starting to get back into play. So sometimes we hurt ourselves when we're doing things. Hello, Corliss. It's lovely to have you here. And did I say hi to Linda? Hello, Linda. Anyway, so that's my weekend. That's what I'm doing this weekend, and that's going to be pretty fun. Let's see. Things to tell you about. So I know, poor Mark. Thank you very much. I appreciate that when we get there. Miss UK, I'm going to call you Miss UK because that's easier. Or you can tell us your name. I'll call you by name. I like it when people call me by my name, don't you? Crave Crusher is our supplement of the week. This is, I keep telling you, this is my most underrated supplement because it is. It's a combination of L-glutamine and some other amino acids, plus a little vitamin C, a little vitamin B, and some chromium. And it really does help with holding you in that non-craving pattern, which is what we're trying to establish. I always recommend, by the way, you can buy 3. If you buy 3, you're going to get 1 for free. That means you're going to have a whole pretty much a year's supply, I think, of this. Pretty great. Find this. Miss UK will be just fine. Okay, well, I'm going to call you that. So this is Crave Crusher, and I use this in combination with Crave Water. I'll tell you about that in just half a sec, but you can find this at savingdinner.com/show. That's where we put our little specials there, and you can just, all you have to do is add it to cart, and we do all the heavy lifting. We'll put in the 4. We'll make sure that that you're not charged, that you're only charged for 3, etc. Isn't that cool? I like stuff like that. Hi, Nancy. Cheers. And I forgot my water. It's in the house, for heaven's sakes. I was going to make my yummy Fresca Crave water too. Did I tell you about well, if you were here yesterday, you saw my Crave water Fresca that I made. Had chia seeds, Crave water, and Pellegrino, cold Pellegrino. Can I just tell you how delicious this stuff was? Oh my goodness. It's all the chia seed wonderfulness. Yeah, it's the thing to do. Anyway, you can find Crave Water at savingdinner.com/Crave Water. And This is the L-glutamine that I recommend, and I have been recommending for years. I was taught about about how to use L-glutamine from a psychiatrist. That's an MD, by the way, who deals with addicts. That's her specialty. First line of defense: give them L-glutamine. It didn't matter what the craving is. Same area of the brain. So if you have a craving, oftentimes you are addicted to something because there's a cycle there, right? This includes food, y'all. Food. I mean, can I just tell you, chocolate used to, boy, it used to really get up in my grill. I used to go just bonker. I would have to like get in the car and go buy it. That's how bad it was. Second time around with chocolate, because I did quit the first time, just cold turkey, whatever. Second time around, I used L-glutamine, and it made big, huge difference. I became a believer. I started using it with the dip method. I've shown you that, where you just take the L-glutamine, put it on your teeth and on your tongue, and it just did it. But this is powerful because we're talking 4 grams of L-glutamine in a scoop, and you get a little stevia, a little citric acid, a little MCT oil. Tastes just like lemonade, and you've eradicated instantly, like that, your cravings. So you can find this at savingdinner.com/crave water. Love this stuff. Super proud of it. We are the only ones that have this. There are other flavored L-glutamines on the market, but they contain sucralose and nasty fake colorings and fake flavors. What's the point of that? You know? No, not on my watch. So this is why we came up with this. I love this. All right. That's number 1 and number 2 as well. I'm also going to tell you about our, we talked yesterday about the positivity of I am manifesto affirmation type things and the intention of course, and how it is absolutely a neuroplasticity game changer. You can find these cards, which are absolutely based on science, at savingdinner.com/affirm. And what we do with these is, and Nancy knows, she's got our quote deck, but we take these cute little easel stands, aren't they, darling? And then we find a card that just rings our bells that says, here we go. I'm going to choose something from the middle of the deck just to give you an idea of what it looks like. I am vibrant, dynamic, and full of life. And you know, there's days when you really need to hear that because sometimes you're just not feeling it, right? This is something that will help you change your mind. You can put this in a place where you can see it. Isn't that cool? And maybe you start feeling it in the middle of the day, and then you turn it over and you write, you have an of course statement. This is something that your brain does not put up resistance to, by the way. It just accepts it because you're saying, of course I am. Of course I'm deserving of happiness and fulfillment. Isn't that just fabulous? I hope you think so. I do. I think these things are just really great. And of course the design is beautiful because our Amber did them with all the pretty flowers. They come in this little card deck. And of course, I send you this little stand to go with it. savingdinner.com/affirm. We also have, we have everything, you know that. We have everything. We have our optimistic gratitude bullet journals that are just game changing, all based on science. You can find those at savingdinner.com/gratitude. All these things that I'm telling you about are available to you right now. We have them, and they are tools to help you on your way, on your path to vibrancy, and they work. This is what we do. We love these things. So we have that. The other thing that you need to know about is Full Bloom happened this past Saturday, and it is available to you along with the digital swag bag and always having this recording forever and ever. Amen. You can find that at savingdinner.com/bloom. Yeah, it's not the same as being there, but it's better than not having it because this was a needle moving day for a lot of us. It was for me because I did all the research on it. So it's really quite special if you were there. Lastly, what do we need? Free shipping for those who are, right here in the lower 48. We're going to give it to you if you have ordered anything $300 and what have you, because we want to say thank you for choosing us for your supplements. That means a lot to us. So we say thank you to that. Our Etsy store is open, savingdinner.com/Etsy. And that I'm telling you this all in rapid fire because I want you to know we have a ton of stuff going on. We've been busy. For heaven's sakes, we've been busy. And lastly, I'm gonna put this out. I'm gonna talk about this a little bit. You know, you're just gonna have to think about possibly joining us for the Rising Tide. I'll tell you more about that in a little bit. In a little while, because that's important. But don't forget that on Monday we are doing a hot melt sprint. Have you signed up for it? The content will be new. Well, there'll be the standard content, but I've got some new stuff for you. You need to be there for it. That's number one. Number two is I found the best way to get warmed up and ready to go is with reviewing why it is that we're doing what we're doing. You know, when your why is strong, then your follow through is too. Doesn't that make sense? So I just want to keep that in your brain. You can find our webinar and go get signed up for it. You can't just show up, by the way, because that's not how it works. We use Crowdcast, and Crowdcast wants us to make sure that that you grab your seat. That's how it works. You can find this at savingdinner.com/sprint webinar. That's where, and remember, sprint webinar is all one word at the end. And you can even do that right now while I'm talking and go get your seat. Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern. It's coming up. That's so we can crush it. Sprint is everything. So there you go. That's everything I believe. And anything that I've missed, you can find at savingdinner.com/announcements. I'm done talking. What do you think? Oh, we do have a quote of the week. You know what it is? You know how incredible it is? It's the shortest one. Feel the fear and do it anyway. Who here hasn't had fear? Who here has just said, oh, life is just a big bowl of chocolate, or what is it, bowl of cherries? Notice I go for chocolate, not cherries. No, every single person on this planet has fear. And I have a theory about fear. And my theory is that nobody ever gets out of having fear in their life. Everybody has fear. But we, in our minds, make it bigger than it really is. And if we can bring it down a notch and live with it and just say, sit down, we can quell our amygdalas, which is the fear center of our brain. We can start seeing things in their true fashion with a true lens to what's really happening. Usually the fear is something else. It's oftentimes procrastination. Procrastination is oftentimes fear. You know how those things go back and forth. I'm not talking about that today, by the way. I'm talking about something that's going to really move the needle if you've been frustrated by goals. People, I've had a lot of, we've done the Rising Tide once, but I've had a lot of goal type webinars before, and I've helped people for the last, 10, 15 years on getting really granular with their goals so that they get them actually accomplished. And for me, it happened when I read the 12-week goal, the 12-week year. And that's a book by Brian Moran. I've spoken about that all week, that showed me that rather than looking at goals from a 12-month process, look at it from a 12-week process and shrink them down. That doesn't mean that we're going to be able to accomplish the same thing that we might need to do for a year, because, if you're trying to lose 100 pounds, you're not going to do it in 12 weeks, right? A year is more likely, but in 12 weeks, no. But we can take it and say, okay, so what would if I have this big, hairy, audacious goal, the big BHAG of 100 pounds, I can take that 12 weeks and cut it down to 25 pounds, can't I? That's more realistic. It's doable. It's been done before again and again, and it will make you feel like, hey, yes, I know what to do to get this done. That's what that's about. So those were part of the needle movers. But the biggest thing is, and the plumb line that goes all the way through this idea of goal setting and all the rest of it has to do with habits and habit formation and all of that. And this is what I want to talk about today because it is so impactful and it will so change everything that you're doing and it will get you almost effortlessly to those goals of choice. Hi, Lynn, by the way. Our Lynn is here. One of these things is there was a book a while ago. Gosh, I can't read. I think it was Cal something or other who wrote a book and talking about this idea of keystone habits. And these keystone habit idea was something that just made me go, oh man, yes, 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 yes. And from there, I developed this thing, and you've heard me talk about it before, that I called piggyback habits, which some people call habit stacking, which I never really liked because habit stacking to me doesn't really tell the story of what it is that you're trying to do. Whereas a piggyback habit is attaching itself to another one. So let's talk about that. We're going to talk first of all, and they both they were related, but they both have different uses, and they both are impactful for helping you to achieve your goals. And that's what we're trying to do here, right? I mean, we're not just here for fun and giggles. We're here to really do something and to make a difference and to live on purpose and for purpose and to be vibrant in the meantime, right? You know what? That's not a big ask. That's just saying, I want all that life has to offer me, period. That's all that is. So let's go into this a minute. We're going to start with the keystone habits because they are habits that create a domino effect in your life. That's what this does. And that domino effect is going to also help create other positive behaviors and make you say, this is terrific. If we concentrate on this one thing, oftentimes we get more things that go with it. So regular exercise, for example, is a keystone habit because with this oftentimes comes if you're exercising on the regular and you're still eating garbage food and everything and not getting enough sleep and doing all the rest of it, it's not going to make an impact. It's not going to give you the results that you're looking for. And instead, it's just going to turn into one more thing that you dread doing. But what happens oftentimes, and I've seen this over and over again, that committing to a keystone habit often leads to fixing other things that were out of line. So for example, if you're starting to exercise and you're starting to see a little bit of difference, and then you go off the rails on the weekends, and then you're drinking too much, eating too much of the wrong stuff, and doing all kinds and staying up way too late, you'll find that here's the pattern. Everything's great Monday through Thursday, and then come the weekend, all that work is for naught because you're sitting on your can. You're not doing the things that you need to be doing, and you're calling it, well, this is the weekend. And the weekend takes the few pounds that you lost, puts it right back on, and puts you in this place of not feeling great. And puts you in this place of just like, what's the point? I've just, canceled out all this good exercise and all these things that I'm doing in order to better my body. It starts to not make sense anymore. And so either you keep that up and just keep going and nothing happens, or you see the light and you start to say, well, I can get myself to bed a little bit earlier. And you know what? I don't have to be eating pizza. I can order something else. An example of this is like if we have at the clubhouse, they have on the menu pizzas, and everybody orders pizzas on Friday nights. But you can order a shrimp cocktail. They have a delicious shrimp cocktail with these humongous shrimp and a salad. That works, right? That stays right on the plan. And I'll even get the Caesar salad, which is a little bit of a cheat, but the Caesar salad is really good. And I'll ask them just leave the croutons off. That's easy. That's easy and it's good and I like it. And sometimes I'll have a couple of bites of Mark's Pizza or whatever. Sometimes I will say, no to the whole thing. Sometimes we'll just eat here, make it easy. But that's kind of the things, those are some of the things that we used to do just to make it so much better. And staying with the plan instead of, on Sunday morning, I'm going to have coffee. I'm going to have breakfast. I might have some hash browns. I'm going to have eggs and bacon and all of that. But during the week, my first thing, Target Trifecta smoothie. And you know, I mean, I am a walking testament to how corrective getting all that collagen in is. You remember I massacred my face with a face plant on May 19th, and by June 1st, it was all healed up. And everybody said to me, well, I just can't believe how fast your face healed. I've got people asking me that on TikTok now because I showed that whole thing and told my story about the face plant and how it healed up and all the things that I learned from it. And that was that's a keystone habit of mine, is breaking my fast with a smoothie. Not first thing in the morning, sometimes if I wake up hungry, but according to how I feel and listening to my hunger hormones. Keystone habit. Keystone habit, because it starts to make sense for all the other things, right? Doesn't it? It does. I look at that way. And then same with sleep. You know, I found myself in this place, and maybe you can relate to this, but I found myself in this place of staying up because Mark was staying up, because I wanted us to go to bed at the same time, because I found it disruptive if he came in and all of that. So finally, I just started to say, these are the health benefits of this whole thing. After I think I did a sleep webinar a while ago. Didn't I do one? I should probably do that again. But I did a sleep webinar and really broke down why sleep is the critical ingredient oftentimes missing in somebody's health regime, and what a difference that makes and how it changes everything. Do you know that even your blood sugar levels are affected if you don't get enough sleep? They go up. That if you don't have enough sleep, that you're not going to heal. That if you have enough sleep, if you don't have enough sleep and the right kind of sleep and the timing of your sleep according to your circadian rhythm, you're going to find yourself in a place of not getting the optimal results from your efforts. And what is the point of that anyway? We need to make sure that these efforts that we're doing and this investment that we're making in ourselves is going to pan out and going to get you some stuff, going to get you things, get you what you want. So how do you develop keystone habits? There's action steps involved. The first one is to identify a potential keystone habit. Is this a keystone habit? And this is something that obviously you want aligning with your goals, and also knowing that it has the potential to affect various areas of your life. I think exercise is an excellent one, especially like if you are a woman who's been diagnosed with osteopenia or osteoporosis or something like that, or sarcopenia, which is muscle wasting, or all of the above. Then your exercise is going to hit that area of health and a health concern that you have. Your exercise is going to make you feel better. Your exercise is going to help impact your sleep. Your exercise is going to impact how it is that you're eating so that you're not exhausted and all of that. So there's the trickle down effect, there's the domino effect, and that's a keystone habit. That's an easy one to identify. So just take a look. Write this stuff down, by the way. You write it down, it's going to become something that you actually think about, something that you actually do something about. Number 2 is to start gradual and it's to start small and gradually build up. Because, exercise, back to exercise, you might be lifting those little tiny pink weights that you got at Target because that's as much as you can do. But this is where we start. It's a starting place. But as you go, you're going to find that those little pink weights are like way too light now, and you need something a little heavier. And if you do that, then you're starting gradual, you're listening to your body, and you're moving up on it. So if you do this, you're going to see yourself increasing weight, increasing time that's spent doing your exercise, and you'll feel really good about yourself, especially if you high five yourself afterwards. We know that. It's giving yourself a dopamine hit, and it's affirming what it is that you're trying to accomplish. Okay. It's really important. 3 is celebrate those small victories. We have a place in the Take Back Your Life journal. Have you seen it? Where you can put your small wins for the day. This is important. We need to, we're really good at dumping all over ourselves and putting ourselves down and then on the other hand, forgetting about all the good stuff that we've done. Forgetting about the progress that we've made, forgetting about all of that. We need to document this stuff. because it helps us to see, oh my gosh, look what I've done over this period of a week. Look what I've done over this period of a month. You know, look at me go. Look at my progress. Sometimes we don't see it until we write it down. This is why that's so critically important. And number 4 is to observe the ripple effects. You know, there's going to be ripple effects. You're going to notice positive changes that come from this habit, of course. And you can capitalize on those and establish other good habits because of it. But the biggest one is number 5. Remember your why. Why do you want to do this? Why do you want to establish this? What do you The why matrix is simply asking yourself at least 10 times why, to get to the meat of the matter, to get to the heart, to get to the thing that makes you tick. Because oftentimes we just are like, yeah, I got to do this. And if we should on ourselves, and that's our thing, you know, that's the way that we do it, that's not enough. That's not enough to keep us going through. Our why will. Our why will, because that is our heart. That's the center of what it is that we're trying to do and why we want to do it. So that's massively important. And then there's their piggyback habits. You've heard me talk about them. You know, like I said, some people call them habit stacking, but it's to pair a new habit with something that is well established and an existing habit. And I shared with you when I introduced this whole concept of piggyback habits way back when I introduced the 4-minute workout. And for me, getting to it meant it just, I kept missing it. And oh my gosh, what's wrong with me? And so what I found was, if I attach something to my habit of every morning I make coffee, or every morning I unload the dishwasher, or whatever, then I'm going to put myself in a position of success. And so for me, I want that coffee. Doing a 4-minute workout was required before I could have that coffee. And that established the 4-minute workout habit. And now it's just, something that I do. And it's a fabulous warm up. By the way, it gets your entire body. It's a dynamic warm up, which is really important. Lynn knows about this. Dynamic warm ups versus a static warm up. And especially if you do a sport like I do, like pickleball, you want to do a dynamic workout, which is movement type of stretching versus just, bending over and touching your toes, that kind of stretching. That's static stretching. So you learn about these things. And then you could start putting these things in motion. And a good piggyback habit then for you might not be the same one that I would use. Maybe you're just going, but I can't do that. I don't drink coffee. Okay, but what do you do first thing in the morning? What is one of the things that you do all the time and you want to get this done first thing in the morning? That's how you create this. Remember, this is always customized to fit you, not me, not anyone else, you. Because if it's yours, you're going to do it. If you own it and take ownership, you will take responsibility for it, and you will get through it and somehow manage to add this to your habit stack and get it done. It's amazing what happens. So your action step is to identify one thing, and figure out, what can I attach to that? What can I piggyback right on top of that? And the second thing is to choose a new habit that you want to establish and make sure it's something that will play well with your old habit. They don't have to necessarily be related, but they can be in the order in which you want to get them accomplished. You see what I'm saying? Because for me, like the 4-minute workout, what I was talking about just a minute ago, the 4-minute workout was something I wanted established first thing in the morning, just like having my coffee first thing in the morning was an important thing, an important step for me too. Same deal. So that's how that whole thing works. And whenever you now go to that habit, number 3 is it's going to trigger inside of your brain this thing as you go get a cup of coffee, for example. No, I can't have that coffee yet. I need to do my 4-minute workout, and boom, 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 off you go. You get your 4-minute workout done. You see how that is? So just remember that as you pair, your brain is going to trigger that. And that's nice because that's something else that you don't have to write down. You just have to just do it because this is something that you normally do. And then 4 is to practice it consistently, because the more consistently you do this, instead of dismissing it and saying, oh, I just don't want to today, I just want to have my coffee. No, no, no. Consistently do this because it's going to take just a minute. It's just going to get it done, and it's going to flow just like the habit that you piggybacked onto. Isn't that cool? So this is how we leverage the power of existing behaviors to help us to create new ones, because that's what goals are, is trying to get us to this place of new ones. And here's the research. The European Journal of Social Psychology suggested that the consistency and repetition involved in these techniques can significantly enhance habit formation. And I don't know about you, I have enough bad habits. I want to replace those with the good habits. Stop sitting on my duff, stop doom scrolling, stop all the other stuff, and just say, you know what? This is more important. Establishing these things are more important. Being the most vibrant version of myself, way more important. Feeling good about what I've accomplished today, so important. And guess what? These are the habits that will get you to your goals. And when you start accomplishing goals on the regular every 12 weeks, then you're going to start seeing your life as just so open for possibility. Your world is your oyster. That's how cool this is. So I really 100% hope that you're thinking about starting in September with us on September 26th, when we start with the Rising Tide. And that's found at savingdinner.com/rise. And that's where you're going to get all the information on it. We have a brand new goal journal coming out with that. We have, and this is again, the power of repetition. Boy, oh boy, will you get that in there. And it's going to be really super helpful. You have that. You also have a 3 weeks of intensive 2-hour training sessions with me and everybody else who's part of the Rising Tide. And then you also have a one-on-one with me where we can get granular into your goals and make sure that we're creating something that completely resonates with you and that becomes a part of your regular everyday life. That's what that's about. So you can find that at savingdinner.com/rise. In the meantime, anything that I may have missed or you may have missed is found at savingdinner.com/announcements. We always put them all on one page so that you have what you need right there. I am looking forward to seeing you on Monday for Motivational Monday. I'll let you know if you watch my personal Facebook page. I'll let you know how I did in the tournament. And pinkies up. Let's get this done. Thanks again. Bye-bye.
Thank you for joining me today. You can find me on TikTok for daily tips to help support your most vibrant life. And remember, you are the author of your own story. Until next time.